Hello students, so welcome to the channel again. Today we are going to discuss about midpoint theorem from geometry of class 9. This theorem is there in chapter 8 quadrilateral of class 9. So let us discuss about that. Okay, first let me discuss about the statement of the theorem. Statement of the theorem is that line segment joining the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the remaining side, third side, and is equal to half of it. Okay, so what is the meaning of that? Say suppose we consider a triangle like this one. Say ABC is a triangle. ABC is a triangle. As you know that it has three sides, AB, BC, AC. These three sides are there. Out of these three sides, let us take, say suppose AB side and AC side, and we consider the midpoints of AB and AC. Say suppose these are the two midpoints of AB and AC. In AB, midpoint is D. In AC, midpoint is suppose E. D and E, these are midpoints of AB and AC. So one side left. Which side left? That means what is given to us? D and E are midpoints. D and E are midpoints of sides. Which sides? AB and AC. D and E are midpoints of side AB and AC. Okay, so two sides of the triangle AB and AC, we have taken their midpoints. Next one is what? Next, suppose we join these two midpoints, line segment joining the midpoints of two sides. So we join these two midpoints. We join the point D and E, and we get this line segment DE. Then the theorem says that this line segment DE is parallel to the third side. Third side means whose midpoint is not taken, that one, the side left. So this says that DE is parallel to BC and the length of DE is equal to half of length of BC. DE is equal to BC, DE is parallel to BC and DE is equal to half of BC. Length of the line segment DE is equal to half of length of the line segment or half of the side BC. Okay, this is the midpoint theorem. Now using the midpoint theorem, we can solve some problems. Okay, so let us discuss some problems which can be solved by using the midpoint theorem. Okay, clear? Okay, so now students see. So we have taken a quadrilateral here. You can see in the board ABCD, any quadrilateral, and P is the midpoint of side AB, Q is the midpoint of side BC, R is the midpoint of side CD, and S is the midpoint of side AD. And when you join these midpoints P, Q, R, S, and then inside the quadrilateral ABCD, another quadrilateral you can see here. That means in your diagram there are two quadrilaterals. One is your given quadrilateral ABCD and one is the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of the quadrilateral ABCD. So whatever is given, let me write down this one. So here what is given? Here it is given that ABCD is a quadrilateral. Okay, any quadrilateral, not a specific quadrilateral. P, Q, R and S, these are midpoints. These are midpoints of sides. Which sides? P is the midpoint of side AB, Q is of BC, R is of CD and S is of AD respectively. Okay, this is given to us. Then what we can say about the quadrilateral joined by the midpoints P, Q, R, S? What is the type of this quadrilateral? To know that, let me draw any one of the two diagonals AC or BD. Say suppose I draw AC diagonal. Okay, I draw AC diagonal here. As soon as I draw AC diagonal, then I can see that two triangles are formed in the diagram. Two triangles are formed, because you know that diagonal divides a quadrilateral into two triangles. One is triangle DAC, one is triangle BAC. In this triangle DAC, what happened? This is the midpoint of AD side and it is the midpoint of DC side. Okay, so in triangle DAC, two triangles are formed. So whatever I have seen in these two triangles, so in triangle DAC, what we can see, S and R are midpoints of S and R are midpoints of which sides? Two sides AD and DC or CD. Then if you join the midpoints of two sides of a triangle, then by midpoint theorem what will get? The line segment which joins the midpoint of two sides, that means the line segment SR, will be equal to half of AC and parallel to half of AC. Okay, by midpoint theorem. So we have got what? That SR is equal to half of AC and SR is parallel to AC by midpoint theorem. Okay, SR equal to half of AC, SR parallel to AC. Exactly same thing is there in the triangle ABC, exactly same thing. In triangle ABC, side AB has midpoint P, side BC has midpoint Q. Okay, so midpoint of two sides are given. So now if you join the midpoints of these two sides, whatever the line segment you have got, that means you have got the line segment PQ here, joining the midpoints P and Q. By midpoint theorem, that line segment PQ is also equal to half of AC. Okay, third side is AC and it is also parallel to AC. Okay, so what we have seen here, that SR and PQ both are equal to half of AC. So they are equal. SR and PQ, they are equal. SR is also parallel to AC, PQ is also parallel to AC. So what we can write? SR and AC, they are parallel. SR and PQ, they are equal, and SR and AC, they are parallel. Okay, so what is SR and PQ? Sorry, I just make a mistake here. SR is parallel to PQ, sorry. So what are the two line segments SR and PQ? For that, let me draw the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of sides of our given quadrilateral ABCD. That means I am talking about the quadrilateral PQRS. Okay, about this quadrilateral PQRS, about this quadrilateral. In this quadrilateral, SR and PQ, they are two opposite sides. So one pair of opposite sides in this quadrilateral are equal and parallel, and that is the condition that a quadrilateral can be called as a parallelogram. So as in quadrilateral PQRS, one pair of opposite side is equal and parallel. So what we can say? We can say that PQRS is a parallelogram. PQRS is a parallelogram, that we can say it. Okay, clear? So that means from this what we come to know, that using midpoint theorem here, what we have got, that if suppose a quadrilateral is given to you, any quadrilateral is given to you, okay, clear, and you know the midpoints of all the four sides, then whatever the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints, that is always a parallelogram. Your given quadrilateral can be any quadrilateral, but this quadrilateral which is formed by joining the midpoint is always a parallelogram. That means ABCD is any quadrilateral, but PQRS is a parallelogram. Okay, clear this much? Next thing you see here, now let me draw these two separately. Okay, see, let me once again draw the quadrilateral ABCD. Just this is the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, ABCD. And when you join the midpoints of the four sides of the quadrilateral ABCD, what you have got? PQRS. ABCD, any quadrilateral. PQRS, parallelogram. It is any quadrilateral. It is any quadrilateral. Any. But this is always parallelogram. This is always parallelogram. That we have proved it. Okay, now just you see the midpoint here. What is the midpoint here? P. Here R. Line segment joining the midpoints of opposite side means PR. PR is the line segment joining the midpoints of opposite sides of any quadrilateral ABCD. Here what is the midpoint? S. Here what is the midpoint? Q. So if I join SQ, what I can say about this line segment SQ? SQ is the line segment joining the midpoints of opposite side of the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, now that SQ is in this quadrilateral. What is that SQ? That SQ is this one, that PR is this. Okay, that means in quadrilateral ABCD, the line segments joining the midpoints of opposite sides are PR and SQ, and they are diagonals of the parallelogram PQRS. Yes, that is the diagonal of the parallelogram PQRS. And what is the property of diagonal of parallelogram? Property of diagonal of parallelogram is what? Diagonals bisect each other. Okay, that means diagonal PR and QS bisect each other. So from parallelogram, as PQRS is a parallelogram, so what we can say now, that is diagonal PR and QS bisect each other. Okay, they bisect each other. They are diagonals in this quadrilateral, and they are the line segments joining the midpoints of opposite sides in quadrilateral ABCD. So we can say that in any quadrilateral ABCD, the line segments joining the midpoints of opposite sides always bisect each other. Why they bisect each other? Because they are nothing but the diagonals of the parallelogram formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, let me discuss some more problems, more examples of this application. Okay, so now next, we already come to know that in any quadrilateral, when you join the midpoints, whatever the new quadrilateral you have got, that is always a parallelogram. Now suppose our given quadrilateral is a rhombus. That means it is our given quadrilateral, it is a rhombus. And PQRS, they are the midpoints of sides of the rhombus ABCD, and whatever the quadrilateral they will form, it will be always a parallelogram. That you already come to know. Now if ABCD is any quadrilateral, then the PQRS is a parallelogram. But if ABCD is rhombus, then PQRS, is it also a special parallelogram? Because rhombus is a special parallelogram, it is a particular quadrilateral. So is it a particular type of parallelogram? That is we are going to discuss. Now what is the property of diagonals of a rhombus? AC and BD are diagonals of the rhombus ABCD. So what are the properties? Properties are that if ABCD is a rhombus, AC and BD, the diagonals are perpendicular. They are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. Okay, that means these angles are 90 degree. These angles are 90 degree. Okay, clear? These angles are 90 degree here. These angles are 90 degree. So now let us do one thing here. See, already we discussed that PQRS, this one is a parallelogram. This one is a parallelogram here. Let me clear it like that. It is a parallelogram. Next, by midpoint theorem, you prove that PQ is parallel to AC, QR is parallel to BD. That you already proved by midpoint theorem. That's why you have got it as a parallelogram. So what you have proved, that PQ is parallel to AC. Okay, PQ is parallel to AC, and this one QR is parallel to BD. That we already know. We already prove it. Okay, clear? Next thing is this one. If PQ is parallel to AC, then obviously this part PQ will be parallel to this one also, AO also. PQ will be parallel to AC, or you can say like that, AC and BD, they are perpendicular. AC and BD, they are perpendicular. It is given AC and BD, they are perpendicular. Why they are perpendicular? Because they are diagonals of a rhombus. If AC and BD, they are perpendicular, then line segment parallel to AC, PQ, and line segment parallel to BD, that means QR, they are also perpendicular. Okay, if two lines are perpendicular, then their parallel line segments or lines, they are also perpendicular. AC and BD, they are perpendicular. Why? Because they are diagonals of a rhombus. So PQ is parallel to AC and QR is parallel to BD. Why? Because by midpoint theorem already we discussed that one. So if they are perpendicular, then the line or line segments which are parallel to them, they are also perpendicular. PQ and QR, they are perpendicular. If PQ and QR, they are perpendicular, then what will happen? The angle between PQ and QR, so this is the angle between PQ and QR, this is the angle between PQ and QR, this angle will be 90 degree. Angle PQR will be 90 degree. It implies what? Angle PQR or angle Q is 90 degree. Now PQRS is already a parallelogram, we prove it already. And this is such a parallelogram where one angle is 90 degree. So what is the name of the parallelogram where one angle is 90 degree? That parallelogram is called as a rectangle. So this parallelogram now you can say as a rectangle. So if ABCD is any quadrilateral, then PQRS is a parallelogram. But if ABCD is a rhombus, then this parallelogram will be a rectangle. That means what we can say, that quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of sides of a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. But if your given quadrilateral is a rhombus, then the parallelogram so formed, it will be what? It will be a rectangle. Okay, clear? Okay, next one is this. Suppose your given quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle. Then what about PQRS? For any quadrilateral, PQRS will be parallelogram. So this time also PQRS will be a parallelogram. But is there any special name of this parallelogram? Is there any special name of this parallelogram? Because this time ABCD is a particular type of quadrilateral rectangle. Then what about the PQRS? That means PQRS are formed by joining the midpoints of sides of a rectangle. Then what is the name of that quadrilateral? It is already a parallelogram, we already come to know, because the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of sides of any quadrilateral is always parallelogram, whatever the given quadrilateral. But this time your given quadrilateral is a rectangle. So what is this parallelogram? Is it a special parallelogram? Let us see. Now if it is a rectangle, ABCD is a rectangle, then its two diagonals AC and BD, they are equal. If ABCD is a rectangle, it implies what? Diagonals AC and BD are equal, because as you know that it is the property of diagonals of a rectangle. Next, by midpoint theorem. By midpoint theorem already you proved this. By midpoint theorem already you proved these things, that PQ, it is equal to half of AC. PQ, it is equal to half of AC, and QR, it is equal to half of BD. That you already prove it. Now as ABCD is a rectangle, so diagonals AC and BD, they are equal. If AC equal to BD, then half of AC equal to half of BD. Half of AC means PQ and half of BD means QR. So in parallelogram PQRS, PQ and QR, they are equal. Okay, which two line segments are equal? Which two sides, sorry? PQ and QR, these two sides are equal, but these two are two adjacent sides of the parallelogram PQRS. Now if one pair of adjacent sides of a parallelogram is equal, then what is the name of that parallelogram? Name of that parallelogram is what? Rhombus. That means if our given quadrilateral is a rectangle, then the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of sides of our rectangle is a rhombus. Okay, so these are the things we can solve, or we can come to know by using the midpoint theorem. And if you try to, now after this, if you try to solve the exercise 8.2 of your NCERT textbook, exercise 8.2 of your NCERT textbook, then you can find it out that maximum questions you can solve by observing, by watching this video. Okay, So in this way, we'll try to upload more videos which will benefit you to understand the basic concepts of the different chapters of mathematics. Okay, so you just please share, subscribe, and put the suggestion to improve the videos better. Okay, till then, bye bye all of you, take care.